every day we're going to release a video until somebody is arrested. I'm not exaggerating. And I like how you highlighted that the Governor Newsom statement is actually positive towards me, because he said we need to arrest people. What did you think about that?
I can't believe it. I've never seen anything like it. Every single time you do one of these reports, Nick Shirley was just on, like, the governor's attacking him. The governor attacks me, right, when we go out there. And I think we're actually beating him into submission. I think that's what's actually happening here. They're realizing that it's untenable. And here's Gavin Newsom's statement. If you don't mind, I'm just going to read it really quickly here. The alleged activity is a felony in California. Anybody caught engaging in this activity is investigated and prosecuted to the full extent of the law. Wait a second. Gavin Newsom is backing up James O'Keefe?
I think it's, if I may, I think there's a reason why here. And you saw it in Cam Higby's reporting and ours. You actually see the cash money given to the homeless person. Yes. Most people talk about stuff, and it's great stuff they talk about, and it's great. But in this video, your audience may not know this, it's a federal crime to pay someone to register them to vote. You can't give them drugs, cigarettes, or money. And I don't think this has ever been actually captured on video. There's one instance in 2019 where the LA DA prosecuted, but there was no videotapes. But in this video, we captured it 28 times over the course of a few days. That means it's happening tens, if not hundreds of thousands of times. So they're like, whoa. And and Cam Higby's video showed the same thing. Anthony Rubin's video is about to show the same thing. I think Savannah Hernandez is doing something on this. I think there's more citizen journalists. There it is, the cash money. You can see it right there. It's rare that you actually capture the crime on video where it's not circumstantial evidence. It's not hearsay. So I also, Benny, have a statement from the United States Attorney in California. It's a chief federal prosecutor. This is the Department of Justice, saying, I want to assure. Now, remember, the DOJ can't talk about what they're doing usually, but this is Bill Asalia, quote, I want to assure that we will aggressively pursue this, anyone violating federal law, and they're in the process of interviewing our journalists right now.
We have the tweet. We'll pop it up in just one moment. We actually have it in our show notes. This is Los Angeles District Attorney. Oh no, this is the District Attorney spokesperson. But yeah, Bill Asalia is the federal attorney,
correct,
for Los Angeles, and he posted this on X. It's in the show notes, Danny, from yesterday. Okay. So we went there. We went to California in January, and we exposed the homeless industrial complex for creating more homeless people. And I know it seemed a little crazy at the time because it seems like such a perverse incentive and such the inverse of what anybody would want. Who wants more homeless people? But when we were out in California, and every single data and metric, James, shows that the billions of dollars that they're spending is actually creating as many homeless people as humanly possible, and then pushing them into these small, compact, distilled areas. And we said the reason they're doing this is clearly because they need, one, to rig the Electoral College, because the census counts numbers of peoples in districts and, not citizens. And then two, this allows them to have very quick election mechanisms that they can rig, whether it's voter fraud, and we exposed toilets that had registered voters at it. We found a toilet that had 30 registered people at it, or ballot initiatives. But we didn't catch it on camera. What you've done here is complete the circle. You're exactly right. This is why it's so profound. Because, like, as much as we can say this is happening, when you get it on tape, there's no way to run away from that.
You've done great reporting, and you've added, Benny, I saw your story, and it added a lot of additional context. These NGOs, these homeless industrial complex, gets hundreds of millions of dollars from the state. The one that we saw was Weingart. That was on Skid Row.
Yes.
They have $800 million. It's wild. And in the video, I'm pretending to be a homeless person. The guy comes out of Weingart wearing his little blue NGO vest, and he's like, I'm with the LAPD. Get out of here. He pretends to be the police to intimidate me. But that's its own bit. There's the guy right there with the blue vest. That's its own bit of surrealness. But to your point, Benny, and this is something that the state and the federal government is asking me, it makes all the difference when you capture the crime on tape as it's happening. And I encourage the journalists. Now, I'm doing something new here, Benny. I've never done this before. We're calling it the Justice League, like the Citizen Journalism Justice League. They don't work for me, and I don't work for them. We're going to be launching a video each day, every day, showing this exact same thing until somebody is arrested. That's today, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm going to release one video a day showing an illegal federal and state crime until somebody gets arrested. And because I know what your audience, I can't see the comments right now, but I know what they're all thinking. No one's going to be held accountable. No. Someone will be held accountable. And let me tell you something. If you keep, pardon me for being direct, bitching and whining that nobody's held accountable, then nobody will be held accountable. But if you make it happen, if you go out in the field like Benny did and Anthony Rubin did and Cam Higbee did and James O'Keefe did, and you can go to Skid Row, you know how to use your phone. They're doing it in broad daylight, Benny. They're not even hiding this. Do you know that? Go out there and capture it on video. We're calling it the Justice League. I think the future is not in organizations and institutions. I think it's an individual citizen journalist like Nick, like Cam Higbee, out there on their own. That's the future of journalism, not in organizational newsrooms, because they just won't do the work. So at 1 o'clock, Anthony Rubin is going to release another videotape, and I am confident that people are going to get prosecuted. I'm confident.
How widespread do you think this is in California? The tell here for me, James, is the governor freaking out.
Yes.
Like, why wouldn't he just like make a meme of you and say, oh, it's stupid James O'Keefe, right? Like, why isn't he in a pimp costume, right? Like that's what I was expecting. The reaction here, the tell is they're freaking out.
They're freaking out because, again, it's the cash exchange, the proverbial briefcase full of money being handed to the homeless person by the petitioner, by these NGO affiliates, is on camera. It makes all the difference in the world that it's not circumstantial evidence. We've been hearing for 5 years, election fraud, voter fraud, there's so much fraud, but you never actually see it happen. You hear about it. There's sort of statistical confidence intervals and probability things. No. This is different. And the other thing is what we have coming out is much worse. For example, there was a citizen in San Francisco that they actually gave the names of voters for them to vote in their names. Well, that's what's coming next. So I think Newsom's statement, he says they should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. I think Governor Newsom on this one might actually have to do the right thing because he wants to run for president, right? He wants to be shown that this is just too much. And this is a very serious thing. If they're giving voters names to vote in their names, and they're pulling that from a DMV website, hint, hint, that's what's coming next, then it's too far gone. So we're very excited to work alongside Governor Newsom and the Los Angeles District Attorney. By the way, the LADA reached out to me. The Los Angeles District Attorney has reached out to us and is coordinating with us to prosecute these people. You can't make this stuff up. I saw the attack against Nick Shirley. I don't know why they did that with him, but we're working with him now.
Well, I mean, it's, because it's circumstantial. The crimes that Nick Shirley captures is like, look at this rundown dump. They're wasting taxpayer dollars. And then when here's the toilet, I'm like, look at this toilet. It has 30 people registered at it. Here's the paperwork. Look at all these people registered to this porta-john. But they fact check me. They come out and attack me because they're like, nope, it's legal actually to register people to a porta-john or to a street sign or to a Burger King parking lot. They straight up said it. But what you're talking about is federal law. And there's no way they're going to get around that. Just
as I'm sitting here, the California Secretary of State just emailed us. They want to speak to my reporters and my attorney. Now, I get in the past, I've been doing this for 20 years. They'll try to prosecute me, right? That's what your audience is thinking.
Of course.
I actually don't believe that here. I just think it will create a constitutional crisis if they first of all, I'm willing to be arrested. Martyr me, please. That's only going to help the story. Maybe we're already in a constitutional crisis. I think most of you would agree with that. But I think you're right, Benny. I think I would encourage citizen journalists who are watching, and everyone's a citizen journalist these days. What would happen if we all descended upon Skid Row? I'm going there, tomorrow, by the way.
Wow.
And we all just put our iPhones out and captured the evidence. It makes all the difference in the world when you capture that cash exchange on tape. So the Secretary of State is emailing me right now. They want to talk to my attorney, want to talk to us, and about this latest developing news here out of California, that people are being given cash money to register to vote, which is a federal crime and a state crime. And how widespread is it, Benny? It appears to be happening tens, if not hundreds of thousands of times in broad daylight.
I don't want to get ahead of your reporting, but since you did a teaser, perhaps you could tell our audience a little bit more about what comes next. Did I get this right? In San Francisco, not only are they telling people, not only they're paying people to register and getting people to register in an illegal breaking federal law, but then they're telling them how to vote. Did I get that right, James?
That's correct. In San Francisco, JJ was the person's name. It's never the news networks that capture this. It's always randos with their phones in broad daylight. JJ got them giving the petitioners were giving the homeless names to vote in the name of, which is many, many crimes, multiple federal crimes, multiple state crimes. They were pulling registered voters and saying, please vote for the petition in the name of this registered voter, because it's easier for them to do that than to get them to register to vote, because many of these homeless don't have addresses and it's hard to ascertain. So that is what is coming next. And it's so shocking. I keep saying this is the biggest story I ever did, but that's because we keep outdoing our previous reporting. That, if I got to go stand, if I got to go stand in the parking lot where these law enforcement people live and work, I will do that. I will investigate the prosecutors. And I think that's why Newsom is putting out the statement he's putting out. I think because he knows he's going to have to do something on this. So stay tuned for that. And yes, they are giving homeless people the names of voters that they should vote in the name of, as well as paying them cash to register to vote.